Good evening. Welcome to Amara In The Dark. Today's story is about one of aviation's darkest time in history. A story of desperation, terror at 39,000 feet, and a crash landing that shocked the entire world. This is the hijacking of the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 961. And I'm your host, Amara. Let's go. It was November 23rd, 1996. The Ethiopian Airlines Flight 961 took off from Addis Ababa with 175 souls, 163 passengers, and 12 cabin crew. Aboard a Boeing 767 bound for Nairobi and then later on to West Africa. Just minutes after their takeoff, what seemed like an ordinary flight slowly started turning into a nightmare. These three men were known as Rida Mohammed Ali, Abdul Mohammed, and Nuru Mohammed. As three young Ethiopian men stormed the cockpit, demanding the unimaginable, claiming that he had a bomb. Captain Liu Abete, one of Ethiopia's most skilled pilots, was on board and had his co-pilot Yonaris Bukaria, who was later on injured by one of the hijackers. They brandished their weapons and said they were going to hurt people if the pilot didn't cooperate, and asking that the pilot fly them straight to Australia. He tried to reason with these people, telling them that the plane didn't have enough fuel to take them all the way to Australia. They thought he was lying. They said they read somewhere in a magazine where they had 11 hours of fuel on each flight. Though forced initially to fly east, Captain Abate secretly flew on the western coastline so as to find an emergency safe landing spot. The hijackers, knowing that this was what was happening, immediately forced him to fly further into the Indian Ocean. And by now, they were on sea. And finally, he sees an island called Comoros Island. Here, while on air, passengers flew in the air for hours. 2 hours went by, 3 hours went by, and then suddenly it happened. The plane had run out of fuel. The first thing was the left engine. At exactly 11:41 UTC, it gave in, followed shortly by the right engine. As they started to glide down, all of this event was captured on camera by tourists who were just hanging out by the beach. And so the plane hits the water. The plane hits its left wing just by a coral reef. With that shattered the plane into pieces. Meanwhile, inside the cabin, panic set in. People were praying and crying, asking God to give them mercy. Some people even inflated their life jackets while in the plane. Now, this will go on to show that this was the reason for the many deaths. as inflating your life jacket while in a plane before a crash can keep you trapped underwater. "125 souls perished. About 50 souls were rescued by tourists and divers that were just by the beach." Captain Abate was hailed as a hero. Experts later say that the only reason people survived was because of his skilled flying. And the bomb that the hijackers claimed that they had, it was all a hoax, just a fire extinguisher wrapped in cloth. So it's known that right before the crash, Captain Abate spoke to his passengers. He took the mic from the cockpit and encouraged them to fight against the hijackers, saying that there were 3 of them as opposed to 175. Now one would stop to wonder, what if those passengers really conquered their fears and they were able to overwhelm the hijackers? Who knows, they might still be alive till now. Rest in peace to all the souls. The Ethiopian Airline hijacking 961 was one story that was born out of stupidity, a tragedy, and it was just a story of desperation. And a chilling reminder of the human cost of life at 39,000 feet above. That's the story. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm still your host, Amara If you really liked the story, please subscribe, comment, share with your friends, and like our content. Till next time, this is Amara in the Dark.